Hello YouTube, another MotoVas review. Yes, today we are riding the new 2016 959 Panigale, a bike that we all like at the shop. Very good bike. Well, it's brand new. It's a facelifted 899. We love the 899. There's a couple of new features on this one. Whole new tail, whole new exhaust, wider front fairing, new mirrors, and so forth. Today no Mikey again because our other sales associate Nick is not here, so it's just me again. And today I'm going to just keep it fresh and go to Jewel or Osco, one or the other, and just get some frozen veggies or something and throw them in the microwave. So anyway, let's fire it up. Ducati's all crank really slow, so don't be alerted. There we go. Now the bike has 3 different modes, as we all know: sport, race, and wet. I'm feeling good today, so I'm gonna put it in race. Probably a bad idea as it's kind of drizzling out, so you might witness a crash. Very good throttle response. Let's take it for a spin. I'm gonna take the long route to Jewel. The baby Panigale, as they call this bike, is actually a very, very nice bike to ride. It has a great balance of power, handling, suspension, brakes. It's a little easier to ride as well. It doesn't hit as hard as the big bikes. You can twist the throttle more often on this model, and it's really where the fun is in riding motorcycles. It does have a quick shifter on it, on the up shifts only, and it's really one of my favorite features on the new bikes with electronic shifters. I will demonstrate it now to you. I feel like I'm racing World Superbike every time I get on the highway and I use the quick shifter. Lovely exhaust note. Sounds great, it's smooth. Now, just like all Ducatis, it does like higher RPMs. So when you ride this bike, keep the revs up and it'll be happy. When I first started riding Ducatis, I really didn't care for them. I thought they were rough, I thought they were stiff. There was definitely a transitional period to get used to them. But now I think they're probably the most passionate bikes currently being mass-produced. That and the MV Agustas. MV Agustas are just something special. Now we should probably go around this guy. Oop. We'll have to edit that out. But we won't, because we don't have any editing software and we're just starting this for fun. Riding to lunch, as they call it, or as we call it. Yeah, the clutch is a little touchy on this guy. It's pretty close to the... Okay, here come the excuses. No excuses there, just wasn't paying attention, I guess. Stalled the bike, no big deal. Now the quick shifter, Ducati does not recommend using it from first to second gear because it is quite a big reduction. But second and up, you can really use it. You just basically, you don't clutch it, you don't let up the throttle, you kind of just punch it and just jam it into the higher gear. And it will electronically shift. You don't have to be wide open, although it works best at wide open. You don't have to be at red line, although it works better at higher RPMs. But basically, we just went through 2 shifts right there. And it feels awesome. I like the seating position on this bike as well. The bars are a little closer to you. The pegs are at a natural position, not too far back, not too far forward. I love the lean tank that really you just hug it and you feel in control. Says Nikita before he goes into the stern and crashes because it's wet out. And really the twisties is where the 959 shows its best feature, the handling on this bike, the lightness of it. It just goes where you point your head, where you look ahead, it'll just get you there. It's very easy to hang off the bike, there's lots of room above it. The pegs are new for this year as well, the material, the machining on the pegs, which makes them a little creepier, so your feet or your foot does not slide off if it's a little wet out or if it's a little harder surface on the shoe. And there's definitely a presence to this bike. I mean, it looks absolutely stunning. Being red is just a little bonus. It definitely grabs attention. I mean, I get people giving me thumbs up when I ride this bike. A lot of people will say it doesn't matter. Well, a lot of people will tell you it does matter. Bikes are very emotional. And if the bike sparks and brings out more emotions in you, well, then that's definitely a plus in my book. And this bike absolutely makes you feel good. Flaws, perhaps there are a few. I did like the older mirrors. They actually stuck out a little further and they were folding type, so you can actually fold them upward. But again, that's minor stuff. Yeah, we're quite hooligans at MCC. And the fueling is spot on this bike. I mean, there's no popping on diesel. Although I actually like that because I think a bike should talk to you a little bit. But the fueling really has no low spots. Some people complained on the 899 that apparently the mid-range was a little flat and a little low. I didn't think it needed anything. I thought it was a great bike to begin with. But tell you what, I'm not minding the bigger 959 motor myself. Everybody wants to see a 749 or a 750 series bike from Ducati again. So who knows, maybe they'll make one and have 3 sport bike category bikes. Seems like that's the new business model for all the companies nowadays. Just jam more models because it's a new model and everybody will buy it. Bike feels nice and stable. The bigger bikes definitely benefit from an O-lean stabilizer because they do just pull so hard. This bike feels very nice, even with the factory non-adjustable stabilizer. Front end is nice and solid. Under acceleration doesn't get squaggly, doesn't get any kind of drama. So it does have 8 levels of traction control. Oh, I think we're in the clear. 8 levels of traction control, and depending on what level you're in, right now we're in level 3. I don't know if you can see it in there, but level 3, as you just saw, will let you do a wheelie if you do it just right. You can't just punch it and expect it to come up. Chances are it'll tone you down. You kind of have to quickly but gently roll on the throttle and smoothly get the front end up, and then it will let you do slight wheelies. anything above level 3, I don't think I've ever had any luck wheeling. And then obviously you can turn all of those off, the traction control and the ABS, and you can pre-save it in different modes. So say if you want your sport mode to be just you and the bike, well, you can save it in the dashboard so that in sport mode the bike turns off traction control and ABS completely. It's really cool with the electronics, you know. I can definitely feel them working. I think they're definitely making me a little disconnected from the bike, but at the same time I can always turn them off. And if I do that, then I'll probably crash and I'll have nobody to blame but myself. So I don't want to do that either oftentimes. Oh, you gotta love that throttle. It just screams, it just has a soul. Last time we were on the BMW K1200S or 1300, I can't remember what exactly it was, and it had an acro pipe on it, and it did sound beautiful, but it just wasn't doing anything for me emotionally. Like I said, I don't feel cool riding that bike. This bike, I feel cool riding it. It's red, it's cool, it's a sport bike, it just sounds mean. It looks like it's up to no good, and it isn't. How can it be if I'm behind the wheel? You know, people know that I'm a maniac. And you know what? That makes me feel kind of good. And that's actually the police station. Oh my God, lots of gravel on the road. One time I actually got pulled over on an 1199 with a stock factory exhaust system, and the police officer was about to give me a loud exhaust ticket. Actually, I don't know if he was. I think he just said, "What's with the loud exhaust?" I told him that's the factory pipe. And I'm pretty sure he actually let me go. And that's the other thing. I can't really recall getting a speeding ticket on a Ducati. Actually, it happened once on a 1098. But usually, police officers are pretty cool and they let you off with a warning on a Ducati. On a Honda, quite different if you ask me. Me and my buddy were riding CBRs. He had a 954. I was on a Repsol 1000 RR. Surely enough, as soon as I pulled over, he kept going. As soon as I stopped, first words out of the police officer's mouth, "Up, you're getting a ticket." And guess what? I got a ticket. Now here we are at Jewel. Yes, here's the minus. Slow parking lot stuff, you can see the jerkiness. But guys, keep in mind, this bike is a 2-cylinder. It's got 2 huge pistons almost fighting each other at low revs. Small price to pay for all the joy you get when you're above 3,000 RPMs. So that's that. I will see you next time riding to lunch with MotoVas.